What is up, guys? Bad Sniper here again with some Pokemon Sword and Shield ranked double battles at you again. So we're doing a new team today for the YouTube. This is going to be the first time we're using a team in the new season with the DLC. So here's the team. It's, for the most part, pretty standard Pokemon from the base game. Tyranitar, pretty much a mainstay on most of my teams. The young Reptar comes out again. This is going to be a weakness policy variant. Pretty standard attack, although we do have Thunder Punch on this Tyranitar in order to set up the electric terrain, which A, stops the grassy terrain that's all over the place from Rillaboom, and B, also stops our Pokemon from falling asleep with a lot of Hypnosis running around, as well as Spore from the recently released Amoonguss. Next Pokemon's a pretty standard Excadrill set, but Focus Sash Excadrill on it, always a nice partner to the Tyranitar. And then the Goodra's on the team. Another reason is, once again, going back to that Rillaboom. Sap Sipper, fantastic against the Rillaboom. Goodra pretty much walls a lot of the meta right now. And this is going to be physical attack Goodra, not special attack, which most teams are typically used to running. Also, both the Tyranitar and the Goodra go very well next to one of the new DLC Pokemon coming out, Comfey. So Triage is a attack or ability that has always been really interesting. It gives the Pokemon +3 priority on healing type moves, which means it passes Fake Out if you're faster than them, which Comfey, we're specifically EV'd to be faster than every single Fake Out user in the format. And it also stops things like, it goes past things like Follow Me, which are also very popular. So, pretty fun moveset. Floral Healing, and heal up the teammates that are looking to sweep. Trick Room has been outstanding. Always nice to have a Trick Room option on your teams. A lot of people don't see it coming from the Comfey either. Ally Switch is always an annoying slash fun use. And then Giga Drain, not only to help heal the Comfey, but we're going to be using that grass type attack to A, proc our own Tyranitar's weakness policy, and B, proc our own Goodra's Sap Sipper. So we have a couple of options there with the Comfey. Togekiss, pretty standard super luck scope lens set with the max fire, max airstream, and max fairy types, along with the Follow Me, which will be max protect. So pretty standard offensive Togekiss, although I think a supportive Togekiss might be a better option overall. And then the OG Citrus Berry Rotom Wash with another pretty standard set for the Rotom, coming out with the Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt, Will-O-Wisp, which is super important against a lot of physical attacking matchups, and Protect. So with that being said, this is the team. We're going to have a rental code in the description below, and we're just going to jump into a couple of games for you guys. So let's get to it. All right, first game here. Ooh, interesting team up against Lauren. Flygon. Not a new Pokemon, but not something that you see often. Jellicent is something that we're going to have to be a little wary about. Duraludon. Cinderace, Sylveon, and Liepard. The Flygon is really interesting here. So against that team, I definitely feel like I want Trick Room up. Like Tyranitar and Trick Room seems really good here. The problem is that Jellicent, right? I think Excadrill Tyranitar is actually a fine lead here, because I'm really afraid of that Jellicent, right? A couple of Pokemon weak to Togekiss in the back. Do I even bring the Comfey? I would really like Trick Room here, but it's really risky with the Jellicent. We're gonna try this. Togekiss Rotom in the back. I do want some special attackers for that Duraludon. But I feel like Comfey, like it all comes down to, does that Jellicent have Imprison? I could have went Comfey and then just not Trick Room. Not everybody expects Comfey to Trick Room yet. So I feel like that might have been a misplay, because the Cinderace is really a pain otherwise. Flygon Liepard. Alright. Yeah, I definitely could have went turn 1. Okay. Flygon's definitely got levitate, right? Lipard's probably just a standard prankster setup. I'm assuming that the Lipard, you know what? I think we might honestly just a double rock slide seems fine here. Like, what does Flygon do here is my thing. I want to break a sash, so we're definitely doing at least one of these. Iron. I don't want to Gmax yet. I want to preserve that. Alright, so Flygon's maxing. I just don't know what... Really curious, because I have no idea. I assumed it might have been like Sash on one of them. What a Flygon does. I've never seen a max Flygon. Fake out, not surprising. Flygon's faster than our Tyranitar is. That's good to know. We were gonna max our Executor too. It's actually a good thing that we didn't. Special defense res doesn't matter. They did double into that. Not a huge deal, but not ideal either. Really good damage on that Lipard. Anyway, just bring Crit Kiss. And this seems like the same play. We'll just go Rock Slide. Max Fairy. Max Fairy should KO the Flygon. I'm not sure on Flygon's speed. Again, I haven't really played too many Flygons, so... I don't know if it's faster than Togekiss, and that's gonna be really important right now. So we're gonna find out in a second. Probably should have calculated that first, but... See? I don't think Flygon can OHKO Togekiss anyway. Thunderwave. Okay, so it's definitely not faster now. As long as we don't get paralyzed, we should still be okay. Next Wormwind. Doesn't affect the Togekiss. Shouldn't KO the Tyranitar. Okay, as long as we don't get paralyzed, we're fine. Lipard's gonna get KO'd. And do we pick up the double KO? Is the question. James, what's up? Thank you so much for the follow. Alright, yeah, we do get the Max Starfall off. That should be a KO. Yep. Alright, double KO there. Crit, but I don't think that mattered. I also set up Misty Terrain. Which could, be useful depending on what he has on the back. So we get 2 turns of Dynamax left. He cannot Dynamax anything in the back. Duraludon. Alright, so we have a pretty good matchup here. In Jellicent. Alright. I'm actually pretty happy about these options. Tyranitar should be faster than both. And Togekiss will definitely one-shot if it doesn't get KO'd, which it does not. It doesn't even get half. Alright, it is a berry, so the Jellicent won't faint here. But it'll still take a decent chunk. Yeah. Take that chip damage all day. Alright, Jellicent is slower than Tyranitar, but faster than the paralyzed Togekiss. Let's see if that matters. Do we get paralyzed? Nope, Max Starfall. Alright, that should be a KO. Yep. Duraludon, the reason one reason he doesn't really see that much play anymore, compared to when the season started, his special defense is just atrocious. And so we are -1 Tyranitar, but that's fine. we just maxed Starfall here. We have 3v1 against Jellicent, and we have a Rotom in the back who has a fantastic matchup here. Crunch should do about 50+%, even at -1. A little bit less than I thought. Water Spout. Doesn't really do enough damage to either of them. Does proc our weakness policy, though, on Tyranitar. So Tyranitar goes to +1 because he was at -1. If Max Starfall doesn't KO for some reason, then Tyranitar definitely KOs next turn. Yeah, that's game. Alright, so a clean, pretty clean 3-1 win in the first game. Togekiss had a really good matchup against a lot of the stuff he brought. He didn't bring the Cinderace, which was the one Pokemon I was actually afraid of. The Cinderace and the Jellicent were the two Pokemon I had some question marks on. That made me want to kind of set up Trick Room. The rest of the team was pretty simple. Brought the Togekiss for the Duraludon, and it ended up being pretty useful there, so let's jump into another game. Second match, another interesting team. So we have Seismitoad, haven't seen one of those often, a very water-heavy team here. So Goodra walls this team pretty hard, right? Rotom also seems really nice here. Rotom seems phenomenal here. Araquanid you don't see too often. Galiospod. So like Goodra, Comfey, Togekiss, Rotom seem really nice here. I don't think we need the Excadrill against a pretty much all water team. And then Tyranitar isn't terrible because he has the Thunder Punch, but again, I think we want to max the Goodra here. The Comfey as its partner, I think, is definitely the option here because we get access to a couple of things. Number one being Trick Room against the speedy Whimsicott is really helpful. Also gives me Ally Switch, and even the Giga Drain is super effective against almost every single Pokemon on our opponent's team. So Rotom in the back is also another option we can Dynamax. However, we do need to KO the Gyarados. If we can get rid of the Gyarados, the Rotom in the back can just sweep his entire team. Most Gyaradoses run Power Whip nowadays. So again, as long as we get rid of that Gyarados, we can just sweep his entire team with the Rotom. I honestly might even be able to 4v1. Alright, so he doesn't start with either of them. He does have a Whimsicott out on turn 1. So we Fire Punch into the Whimsicott and then try and set up Trick Room. I'm expecting the Whimsicott to probably just Tailwind, right? We could have also just hit Galiospod so it would have returned. But I want to get some chip damage onto the Whimsicott here. First impression is usually what they go, oh, that did so much more damage than I expected it to. And Moonblast. He just goes for the KO turn 1 onto the Goodra. He doesn't get it. But, oh goodness, that damage. Comfey sets up the Trick Room. Alright, so we get the Trick Room set up pretty smoothly. I think this is another Fire Punch into the Whimsicott, KO that. And then Floral Healing into our Goodra. And this is the first time we're going to be using Floral Healing, so I'm not entirely sure how much it heals. But this, if this heals enough to survive, then this turn was fantastic. Ooh, that's actually really nice healing. Aqua Jet is not going to do that much damage because it's not very effective, but the healing was huge there. Comfey is an absolute monster, picking up the KO here on the Whimsicott. So that's turn 1 of Trick Room, and oh boy, was that a good one for sure. Politoed comes in, sets up the rain. Some Politoads do have access to Hypnosis, so we do have to watch out for that. I think we just go for a Floral Healing again. Just keep healing this. Laxman's up, thank you for the follow. Just keep healing. No reason not to. The Galiospod's first impression is the most annoying thing on it, like, for sure. But he can't use that other than the first turn. So we're just gonna heal this Gudra almost up to full. Goes for the leech life. Really nice damage there, actually. Politoed is slow. So that's really, let's see if the accuracy drop matters here. Oh, we don't get it. All right, so here we go. That might be just not a one-hit KO, but very close. I think we're at the point where I'm fine with just going for outrages. And again, we're just gonna floral healing. Like, I'm gonna make him have to respect the Comfey, right? If you're not gonna target down my Comfey, I'm just gonna keep healing this Gudra. I'm just gonna keep healing this Gudra if you don't respect the Comfey. We could play this game all day. Pretty solid damage there. Floral healing, and we'll do another outrage. Like, this Comfey is putting in an absurd amount of work right now. Our opponent has to just target down the Comfey, right? Otherwise, we're gonna sit here forever, and I'm slowly winning this. Okay, so the Helping Hand, Leech Life might be enough to KO the Gudra. We're about to find out. If a Helping Hand doesn't do it, then nothing's doing. It should, though. Yep, okay, perfect. That's fine, though. The Trick Room actually wearing down isn't a bad thing for us at this point. There we go, back to normal. Because now we already know we're fast. We are the speediest of the boys. And we might be able to just pick up a double KO here. So we're gonna go Togekiss next to our Comfey now, the double trouble. Max Airstream into Galio's Pod, and then we're actually gonna Giga Drain into the Politoed. We should be faster than both of his Pokemon. Because we saw what these speed tiers were like under Trick Room. Now, our opponent does still have their max. They have not committed that. They're probably waiting for whatever their fourth Pokemon is to do that. Not entirely sure what that could be. But Togekiss is pretty solid against most of his team. Not really worried about what he had in the back coming into Togekiss. Politoed's going for the Helping Hand. What could you be doing here? Giga Drain does pick up the KO, and that will probably put the Comfey back to full health. And then Max Airstream. How much damage does this do? Pretty solid damage, but it doesn't pick up the KO. That's not a crit. So we don't get the 50% crit chance, which is unfortunate, but he does get the emergency exit, so it does enough. It does enough. For the Helping Hand did nothing thanks to the emergency exit being activated. So it's a Gyarados in the back, which is technically something we're not worried about, but definitely not ideal for us, right? So he does get first impression. I think we do just want to get rid of the Galio's Pod. And then I think we ally switch here and protect our Togekiss's life total. I assume that the Gyarados is gonna max and then go into the Togekiss. Let's see if that's what he does. The question mark's gonna be Rotom versus Gyarados. If Rotom is faster than the Gyarados, Thunderbolt's just gonna one-shot it, right? If Rotom is not faster than the Gyarados, then we get some interesting situations here. First impression does very little to the Togekiss. Good ally switch for us. Max Airstream's gonna pick up the KO. And then we get a 3v1 here. The crit didn't matter. We do have one turn left of Max. He's gonna have 3 max attacks still remaining. Let's see what he does with his first one. We do see that we're faster than him. Max Geyser in the rain should do a decent chunk. Yeah, very solid damage, not gonna lie. Alright, so we're gonna Floral Healing our Togekiss. And we're gonna max Starfall to set up the MSD terrain. Alright, so Togekiss is gonna heal enough where he's gonna have to do 3 attacks into the Togekiss to KO it. It's not a crit, right? No, okay. I thought the damage would be a little bit higher there, but we don't hit a crit. We do get the Misty Terrain. Max Geyser comes out in the rain. Should not KO. Goes into the Togekiss. Does not KO like we expected. Yeah, he has one more max move. And I think here what we do is Ally Switch and Dazzling. We want him to knock out the Comfey and not the Togekiss, because if we end up with Togekiss Rotom on the final turn, we just win the game, and there's nothing he can really do about that. Rotom will one-shot it, however, he probably has Power Whip again, which is very threatening to Rotom. So he has to play the decision here of, do I heal or Ally Switch? And then we have to see if he predicted that correctly. So he goes to half health here. Genethly for the follow. And the Max Geyser comes out. Does he predict the Ally Switch is the question. He does not predict the Ally Switch, which is beautiful for us and should be game. He actually, picking up the KO there is actually really good for us. So he gets his Moxie boost. But that actually doesn't matter to us because now we get the free switch into Rotom. And Rotom pretty much ruins a Gyarados' day. So there's 2 plays that he can do here. And those plays are Bounce or Protect. And there's no reason not to just follow me, Thunderbolt here. Right? There's no reason to not follow me. This is going to give me a couple of things of information. One, it's going to tell me if Gyarados is faster than my Rotom. Gyarados is faster than my Rotom. Also, him going for Waterfall there kind of tells me that he does not have Power Whip, right? Like, why else would you do that? But either way, we get the win. Thunderbolt would have one-hit KO even if he was full health, but we knew that with the Follow Me still available, it was a guaranteed win. So 2 games, 2 wins, 2 interesting teams with Pokemon that we don't normally see by our opponents. So let's jump into game number 3 and see if we can keep that streak up. Jumping into another interesting team today. Luxray and Talonflame, 2 Pokemon we don't see too often. The Amoonguss seems like an annoyance. Goodra seems really good there. I am a little bit worried of the Sylveon from the Goodra, but we do have Excadrill for that reason, right? So maybe Tyranitar Excadrill doesn't seem that bad of a lead against our opponent. Tyranitar can, or even Comfey Tyranitar with Excadrill Goodra in the back. Do we need Rotom here? So Rotom hits 1, 2, 3, 4 of them for super effective. What does Goodra hit? Goodra doesn't hit any of them for super effective, right? It just stops the sleep. I don't think that's worth it. I think Rotom's better in the back after a second look than the Goodra is in this matchup. Goodra would hit Tyranitar. That's really it. Yeah, this seems fun. Definitely interested in that Luxray set. See what we got. Talonflame and Urshifu. So Talonflame could be trying to set something up like the room Tailwind, right? So I think this is a pretty safe turn to go Protect here on the Tyranitar and Trick Room on the Comfey. We do have to worry about a fighting type move out of Urshifu going into the Tyranitar slot. I think our opponent might be just kind of bloodthirsty for that. Anytime you have a opportunity to have a fighting type Pokemon staring down a Tyranitar, it's always an interesting option. And then the Talonflame is usually gonna do something like Tailwind setup on turn 1 at least. Yep, there's the Tailwind as we expected. And now does Urshifu KO right through? Oh, that his ability. Oh, that was a misplay. Alright, we do get the free Trick Room set up, but I totally forgot that he goes through Protect. I totally forgot Unseen Fist exists. But we do get Trick Room set up. We do have some nice sweepers in the back for this. I think Rotom comes in here, as Rotom has a really nice matchup against both of these Pokemon. So we're gonna Max Thunder. And that should KO. But we're gonna Ally Switch just to be safe as well. Might even better to save the Ally Switch and not give our opponent that information, but then it starts playing the Ally Switch mind games anyway, so that's still... Luxray comes out. Alright. I actually don't know what Luxray has. But... maybe Guts. Alright, he could be holding a Flame Orb. We do definitely have some nice speed control here either way. So we just have to start taking advantage of this. Let's see how much the Geyser does. And the Lightning does. Alright. Actually not that bad. Do a Wing Beat. Does nothing. Nice turn for us there. Even with the switch, that's a pretty good turn for us. Talonflame loses a lot of HP there. So Luxray is actually in range of being KO'd by a... oh, there's the burn. Okay, so it is a Guts Luxray. So we're just gonna double into that Luxray. And try and get that off the board. Does he max it at this point, though? I'm not sure if he does. I feel like he might have taken too much damage. Talonflame protects. That's fantastic for us yet again, because we weren't going into that slot anyway. So we're definitely going to KO the Luxray. Is Luxray slower than Rotom? No, it is not. All right, so we KO the Luxray before it does anything. Yeah, there's a lot of... I don't think in like ever have I seen a Luxray, so I don't know the stats on that at all. Alright, so we have one turn of max. Our opponent just protected on his birdie. We have electric terrain, and we have it's just Giga Drain. What do we care about? Excadrill in the back can take care of Sylveon pretty easily, right? So I think we just go for the Talonflame KO here. Really? Max Sylveon. I did not expect my opponent to do that. Sylveon usually you want to not max because Hyper Voice Sylveon just does so much spread damage. It's really interesting decision here. And it max guards? We didn't even target it, so that's an amazing, amazing spot for us. Right? He goes for the double protect on the Talonflame, but didn't get it. So Max Geyser's gonna pick up the KO here, and he's down to 2 turns of two max turns. That was the last turn of his Tailwind as well, so that should have is there 1 turn left of Trick Room? We're just gonna double into Urshifu. He could protect here. I don't think Urshifus normally carry protect, do they? Oh, they do carry detect, right? So this could be a misplay, but if he doesn't protect here, then we have a really nice turn. It's also the last turn of Trick Room, potentially.
Hey, Holly, thank you so much for the like.
See what our opponent does. There's a couple of ways he can go about this, and they do not protect, so we're going to pick up the KO onto the Urshifu here. And we're going to have a full health Comfey. Does Max Starfall one-shot? That's the question. Into the Comfey? Probably not, right? Nope. No, it does not. So that's really good for us. Gets rid of the terrain, but that shouldn't matter. Thunderbolt's going to KO here. And we have a 3v1. Where the 1 is a Excadrill in the back, which has a fantastic matchup against Sylveon, so. Twisted Dimensions return back to normal, which actually helps us because this is the 1 Pokemon on our opponent's team that is slower. So we're just gonna go for the Thunderbolts in the rain because we do not want to risk setting up something, missing the Hydro Pump. We'll heal up a little bit, not a big deal. Thunderbolt. This is mostly just to do some chip damage in case it was something like Sashed. Rotom doesn't pick up the KO. So that was our opponent's last turn of Max, which it actually is kind of a good thing for my opponent that they didn't pick up either KO, right? Because now you just, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference actually. You're gonna KO both of them at the same time right now with a Hyper Voice. However, we do have the Excadrill in the back, who again has fantastic matchup against the Sylveon. I think the play here might not have been to heal on the Comfey, but to heal our Rotom. But it shouldn't make a difference. Hyper Voice should pick up both KOs. Yep. Yeah, I think the play on the Comfey there, the chip damage is negligible at that point. And just healing the Rotom to maybe survive a Hyper Voice. But it doesn't make a difference because Excadrill comes in with a Focus Sash, and I don't think it's physically possible for the Sylveon to win this matchup. Ironhead probably KOs unless it's carrying a Babiri Berry, which it's not. So it's just gonna be a KO. Even if it had the Babiri Berry, our Excadrill sashed, so it would have KO'd on the follow-up attack. So a nice game. It was a little bit closer than it needed to be for sure. Okay, let's see what we got here. Amber, Rillaboom, Tyranitar, Gyarados. Probably Intimidate Gyarados, right? Cinderace, Udra, and Sylveon. So I feel like Comfey setting up Trick Room is pretty good here. You have a lot of fast Pokemon other than the Sylveon. I mean, middling speed, but you probably have some speed investment, which I do not. The Togekiss is strong against the Tyranitar, the Gudra, and the Rillaboom, so I think I want to bring that in the back. Maybe just go hyper offensive with Tyranitar, Excadrill, Togekiss in the back, and Comfey in the back. What does he do to Tyranitar Comfey lead? And, like, how does he stop that? I think that's the play, actually. Let's go for a Trick Room immediately. Depending on what my opponent brings, we tech the Tyranitar, or we go all in and set up the Rillaboom and question mark, Gyarados. Alright. It is Intimidate Gyarados. That is confirmed. He probably Grassy glides into a Tyranitar, right? Power Whip, Max Airstream. Gyarados can't really hit the Comfey, but it could have Taunt. I feel like a Grassy Glide probably comes out, so let's bring the Togekiss in. Absorb that. And then try and set up a Trick Room. I don't think my opponent maxes either of those, so it's probably something he has in the back. Cinderace being my guess. The movesets are going to be the interesting thing. He could Fake Out into the... So it's going to be a Grassy Glide or a Fake Out turn 1, I would assume. But I feel like pretty send that. Does max one of them. That's interesting. I don't think either of them have a great matchup against the Togekiss, so that's good. Gyarados, even though it's Intimidate and not Moxie-Dose. Alright. Maybe sets up Max Airstream, which wouldn't be that big of a issue for us. Grassy Glide does come out, so we did predict that. Actually, still does a pretty good amount of damage here. Max Geyser comes out. Did he double into Tyranitar slot? He did. Alright, actually that's fine for us. Unfortunate that it does pick up the KO, but we do get the setup that we wanted with the Trick Room. Alright, so now we're gonna be the slowest Pokemon on the field. And Tyranitar, I think, is the play here. And our max Pokemon of choice this game. Sandstream's gonna get rid of his weather. Just in case he does survive somehow, which, unless he max guards, he's not going to. So Max Lightning's gonna one-hit KO a Gyarados for sure. And then I think the play is actually Ally Switch, because I still see no reason for him to not just Grassy Glide into the Tyranitar. And while I wouldn't hate the weakness policy being procced by my opponent, I'd rather do that on my own terms, as I do not need that boost to KO the 4 times weak to Electric Gyarados. Reptar, looking for that candy bar. Let's see if he could find it here. See if we predict correctly. So there's the Ally Switch. So I'm expecting Rillaboom to Grassy Glide into the Comfey now. He does not Grassy Glide at all. Alright. That's going to KO 100% of the time. And it is also going to change the terrain to electric terrain, so now Rillaboom's attacks are not as powerful. Let's see if Rillaboom predicted the ally switch, is going to be question mark number 2. Knockoff goes into Comfey. Sure thing, buddy. Take my Babiri Berry. Alright, so that was actually a really good for us ally switch, because that would have taken off our weakness policy. Now we can proc the weakness policy ourselves, so even if he tries to do that play twice, it won't work. See what he brings in the back. A Goodra comes out. Alright, so we're gonna Giga Drain ourselves here to proc our weakness policy. And I think we just max darkness into the... What am I more afraid of? Back. Get rid of the Goodra. We're gonna heal up a little bit off of that. And more importantly, proc our own weakness policy. And now we should start one-hit KOing everything. Let's see how much a +2 max darkness into Goodra does. And he's out of here, folks. Also gonna lower the special defense of Rillaboom, which isn't super relevant, but technically Giga Drains will do more. And our opponent thought we were going to do another ally switch, gets played. Another really nice turn, so that's the type of play that you just might rage quit after this. This game's pretty much over. Some really nice plays. Cinderace comes out. This is just an easy... Honestly, I guess we... Giga Drain the Rillaboom? Giga Drain the Cinderace, and max Rockfall. And the reason we're doing this is, although most Cinderace have Life Orb, if for some reason this is a Focus Sash one, we're guaranteeing the one-hit KO here. Sure. It was most likely a Life Orb variant. I didn't actually even see. I wasn't paying attention right there to the recoil, but that's to make sure that we guarantee that in that situation. And Comfey and Tyranitar just steamroll our opponent. Comfey has come up clutch so much in 2 games now, out of the 4 we've played. Here we're just gonna Floral Healing our Tyranitar, bring him back to full. And I guess Crunch is the safer option. +2 Crunch into a Rillaboom. Floral Healing's gonna heal us up as well. Probably close to full health. Oh, all the way to full health. Alright, my bad. Yep. So we don't pick up the KO, but it's pretty close. Grassy Glide doesn't do enough damage. Rillaboom's gonna take that off from the leather as well. The Twisted Dimensions do return back to normal, so we're gonna be safe about this one. We're gonna Trick Room and we're gonna Protect again. So slow play a little bit here, but you never know in Pokemon, so it's always better to just be as safe as possible. Make sure you guarantee the win. And the guaranteed win for us was to just Protect, set up Trick Room again, and then just crunch him one more time. No reason to be fancy about it. Floral Healing. And crunch for the win. So just takes that one extra turn just to be safe, because technically the Rillaboom at that health, it would have been hard for the Comfey to KO. In the technical situation that Rillaboom has Drain Punch, right? Drain Punch into the Excadrill is going to do a lot of damage and heal a lot. So this was the safest play for us. Despite it kind of like from the outside look like I was just kind of toying with him by not just ending the game there. There is a chance that our opponent still wins even at that health total against the extra drill that we had in the back, plus the 2 Pokemon we had there, since the Comfey doesn't have any offensive pressure on the Rillaboom. But that was another good game. What is that, 4 games? So I think we're going to end with that one. Let's back up, show the team just one more time. Really enjoyed the team. Again, there will be a rental code in the description below. Really enjoyed this team so far, though. I could probably have piloted it better since I'm a little rusty with it. The Reptar felt, Tyranitar rather, sorry, felt phenomenal, and the Comfey also felt phenomenal. Excadrill came in clutch a couple of times with his speed. Sometimes you just really need that. The Goodra wasn't crazy today, but I didn't also have to use it. It does have really nice coverages, though, and every once in a while you get that plus attack that we didn't use today, but it is the option with the Comfey. Comfey was an absolute stud. Floral Healing single-handedly won one of the games, and then the Trick Room in that last game with the Ally Switch also incredibly clutch for us there. Colgate, you know, you never have a bad time with the Togekiss. I think I would have honestly preferred a slightly bulkier version of the Togekiss on my final roster here, but definitely enjoyed having the Togekiss. It's always a nice Pokemon, and it beats the Rillaboom, which in the meta right now, almost every team's running Rillaboom, so you need an answer to it. Air/Togekiss, plus the Heat Wave as well. Really good answer to Rillaboom. And then Billy Mays with that special TV offer. Again, I thought the team was a little bit weak to special attackers as well, from where I saw this original concept from. I don't know if I loved the Rotom, but it was, I'm not sure what would have put there instead. Maybe even like I would have liked Milotic. I think I've been really enjoying playing with Milotic lately. It also gets Helping Hand, which is a nice little option, but then you lose the electric coverage, but you do have that in Reptar. But really enjoyed the team so far. Again, there will be a rental code in the description below. Hopefully you guys don't forget to like and subscribe. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.